Remember, you retain the copyright of all your images. You sell prints, but not your files. You license them for a certain use. So rather than thinking of sales, get used to thinking of money from licensing instead. Most agencies will indeed use the terms license and sale interchangeably, and the same with buyer instead of licensee and seller instead of licensor. I'll be doing the same in this course to getting used to the stock photography terminology, but bear in mind that you will be in fact licensing images rather than selling them. Having said that, it's very important to always read the agency's terms and conditions before you submit your work to them. Even though most agencies have very similar agreements, always be sure to understand what you are agreeing to do. If you are not clear on anything that the contract says, make sure to contact the agency's customer support and ask them direct. Also, some websites will offer the option to sell rights as a checkbox. Be very careful with that option. It means that you agree to transfer your copyright to a third party in exchange for a one-off sum. And this means that you will also lose any rights to relicense or resell your image or that image in future. But are licenses all the same? And the answer is no, not really, no. In the following segment, we'll be discussing the two different types of licenses that apply to stock photography. One common question that my students have is to what extent do photographers get involved with the sales? And the answer to that is that there is no interaction whatsoever. Sales will happen in an automated manner and online. There is no human interaction from the photographer side or the agency side. Clients simply open their account on the agency's website, they buy a package that allows them to download a certain number of images, or they choose an image, one image only, and pay for the type of usage that they need. And then they can download the images straight away. You will not be informed of who the client is or where your images will be used. This is a very important point to be aware of when selling in stock. You have no control on who licenses your images. And this also means that your work might get used to support causes that you don't necessarily support. It hopefully never happens to you. It never happened to me, certainly, but it is a possibility. And this is also a very, very important point to make sure to clarify when working with models. And we'll discuss this when we talk about model releases. So how does it work? Do you simply upload your images and get them automatically put up for sale? And no, unfortunately not. That would defeat the purpose of this course altogether. There's a little more work you need to do before your work gets put available for sale. Your images will go through a quality control process, and we'll be discussing this inspection process and how to avoid common rejection reasons later in this course. But before we go to the process of uploading your images, we need to go through some of the nitty-gritty of stock. So let's start from the beginning. In the next part of the course, we'll look into different types of agencies, licenses, and why you need to be aware of how exclusivity works.